L'union fait la force, hein. Oh, Nicolas, d'ailleurs, plein d'or. Comme on a tout le léon. Dis-moi, non. I was so good, yeah, oh, I want to I don't I got a boy, see, I can walk. Nathalie, c'est la chance. Nous, les personnes actuellement, à date de deux compris. C'est un moment. Voyons plein de quoi. Son Robert. Son Bernadette. Dis-moi. Le colonel Bas François. Bois après. Président, Nostan Pascal. Tu as une agence. Yelumoa. Keke Delmas. Pierre. Haïtien. Salut Robert. Son peu de ça. Tout le gars. Okay, good evening, folks. We want to welcome all our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much for joining us here this beautiful, beautiful Friday evening here from the East Coast. I'm Alfonso Zayansot of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. Good to have you here this beautiful evening here. I'm not sure how your end looks like, but no matter what, we hope everything is okay as well. Today is Friday. This is LPR-TV Live with the Analysts. They will be joining me here very shortly, and that is ongoing. Then we will be having national conversation as well. This is what we do. This is what we love doing. And because of you, we are here to have these critical, sometimes painful national conversation. Good to be here. If you are here, this is the first time we say you are wholeheartedly welcome. Let me welcome my own sister first. I'm on my mother's children. I love myself the best, of course. Sister Rita, good evening. Good to have you here. And all of our folks, Melvin, good to have you. Precious, good to be here. Garrison to be able legendary Amos Joy. Amos Joy, are you on the leave or what's going on? Are you part of the asset recovery team in Liberia? Well, tell us if you get a new assignment so we know. Good. Hopefully, you're going to join the conversation here this evening. Do us a favor, just go to the icon to see the little arrow pointed at the bottom. Is the share button. That way, when you do that, if you are part of other group, WhatsApp, Facebook group, it allows you to share the live view with other folks, friends, family, and they can join the conversation as well, because it's just not about us, though. It's about our country. And so all of us should have a shared responsibility in having these national conversations that sometimes are very, very much critical. And we find it very difficult to understand, to interpret as well. Notwithstanding, we have to do that. Zion, good to have you here. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on your location. I'm not sure. But we always we really do appreciate the commitment to this network. It is because of your commitment that is why, even as much sometimes when we are all tired of after pushing our hours as well, we have to rush to be here because you believe in us, and we must keep that commitment for the good of the country. Good to have you here. Thank you so much. There come Clarence, David. Good to have you here. And Mafonso Zienso will be your lead host here this evening. And very shortly, the analyst is going to be joining me cross country from different states, in state, whatever they are, for us to have these national conversations. And I understand there was a protest in the country there today. My goodness. We're going to capture some of these things, but these are all. It's not going to even come to an end. This sour business is not going to come to an end. And everybody benefited from it. So people knows the beneficiary aspect of it. And so they find it very good. Ebenezer Fire, good to have you here. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on your locations. And we appreciate your being here this evening. Hopefully, we, all of us, and everyone here, we will have this national conversation for the good of the country, regardless which side, whether we agree or disagree. That's what it's all about. Discussing about a sovereign nations, and we know how polarized our society. It is obvious that we're going to have a dividable. Notwithstanding, we will have this conversation. We will agree and disagree. The bottom line here is we all must have this sort of shared responsibility to talk about our country, how we feel our country is going. You have the right to query your government. It is a government responsibility. We can bring them into check, but it must be done with civility. It must be done to respect. Bill to Willie, Mr. Willie, good to have you here. Good evening. Welcome in the house of LPR. These are our prime guys here. And so when we see them, we got to give them a shout out for their commitment to this network. Well, folks, just hit up the share button for us and invite someone to accompany it. Tell them LPR-TV is on. Welcome to the show. Okay, good. Here's let's on surface here. This is easy, and so right here, this beautiful evening here, kind of a little bit chilly today. America too is so hard to predict. One day the weather is perfect, and you think it is in the next few days. It brings in different phase and different period. But notwithstanding, we saw one of the kind of cold, so we are here, right, Bill? We all kind of want to go in the cold now. The cold is doing what it should be doing. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on your location. We say good to have you here as usual. I'm Francis, and so I am Lee Anger host, and I right here this evening, and very shortly the analyst is going to be here to going to scramble to have some national conversation, and of course, hopefully, and you not hopefully you will also have a say. Too much is ongoing. We will try it as much as possible tonight to activate the phone line so that you will call in as well to participate and to speak on some of these issues that are making headlines in Liberia. Sometimes we talk on these things here, but there are some other important issues. So what is important for you is could not be, and it could not be for the other person. And so that's part of the reason why we always have this line activated. So that way you can call and speak of what you find interesting. Not everyone is interested in politics, other people in different forms of the society is huge. So we must be able to visit all aspects of the society and be able to give that fair conversation. Well, quickly here, let's take this quick break here. There are folks that are keeping the industry, this wheel of the industry turning. The season is already on to the graduation, the conventions, the baby shower, the family reunion, whatever it is. Just in case, if you are in the process of having such a memorable family gathering, a little bit pageantry and flavor to it. And by that, you can reach us here at LPR 682-433-8802. We are friends on Facebook. Shoot us a message, even to our hotline number. You can text us as well and see if we can work out something as to how we can form part of your carnival, your celebrations, whatever it is. And we can also capture those images and show it to the rest of the world or the family members who will not be around. That's a way of giving back to the community. So we will appreciate that. In that way, you can give us, little kappa, what they call kappa joy, some little bit jaffe. So we always want to do this community service. Then we feel comfortable, we feel much better asking you. So if you have a business in Liberia, right here in the U.S., any part of the world, let us know. We can cut a promo. We can cut something. We can advertise it for you. We just don't want to come here and be like Omen Baker. Not that we do not want, but I think we must provide some services, and then you can pay for that. It doesn't matter how much it is, and this is how we want to encourage everyone be it here or inside Liberia, to you have a business, you have a conventions, you have your anniversary coming. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you are. When there's no way, we will find our way out. So let us know, and we will have this conversation as well. So the analyst, the man, the breakable power. The breakable is here. He's one of the die-hard reactions. Yeah, I'm wondering where this energy is coming from. I don't know if he's going to be with this thing here for the next 6 years. I'm waiting to see. In the event is former President Weah decides not to run. To where will he turn his political care? I'm waiting to see. We are here. That Chinese man, you can't give up. Mr. Masali, it's good to have you here, Abu Masali. Here come the man from the Midwest there, Trocom to Liberal. So, Mr. Liberal, it's good to have you. It's good to have you here. So, I think a lot of things is happening. Too much is ongoing on. That's the difficult part of this whole thing, because depending where you go, you will always see these conversations will be various, because each and everyone is trying to protect his or her own alligator. You see, sometimes the liberal, when they come here, then he's downhearted, he's broken down, and he's struggling as to how he can fine tune his message because he knows very well some things that are happening, not happening right. But because they are so politically correct, they are very careful as to how to put these things out because they do not want people to hold them to their word. That's the difference when you decide to have a plain conversation and say, you know what, as a facilitator, let me stay in these positions of being neutral. The issue of neutrality is very, very much difficult. People, everybody, human being. But when you made these sort of public declarations, it make it very, very difficult. So they would not even know. People would find it very difficult to see your authentic side because you made it known. And so anything comes out of you, people will observe it and see it critically. And that's the fact. Christopher Lotti Tobasi. I've never seen anybody who can tweet. Donald Trump said I can't even make it with Christopher. Those guys, they're not going out right now. Hey, it's Madam Yvonne, good to have you here. Good evening, welcome. Hope everything is going okay. Mark Wilson, Zise, good to have you here. Mr. Harry Pay, good to have you here as well. Just join Hoff, do us a favor and share the podcast. Oh, okay. Why did I not send it here? All right, guys. Sorry, I don't know. I thought you on the late, so I'm sending it now. I know I sent it out, but I'm not sure. So to the folks that do not get the link, please, you can check. If you don't have it, just send a message in the group chat. I will still see it, and I can send you that link. Dr. Toto, my apology if it doesn't go. But let me see here. Okay, I believe it's a hard mail. So here we go. The link. Okay, so let's take this quick break here from our man, the lover boy, Manzola Gisi, and I'll be right back.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events, such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers: 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-3337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your calls and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services and your friends in business.
Okay, there you have it, your friends in the media, excellent and quality broadcasting. Yeah, even if I tell you the story, you won't believe it. I'm in the middle of two of my sisters. One is on the live view. So if I decide to go down, or I go there and grab anything, the fridge is always open. Everything is always there. When I decide to go on the other side, so there's no way I'm in the middle. I can go back, I can come from, and I can get something. And trust me, they are well cooked stuff. So that is what get us moving here. So, that's the good thing too. When you're around your own family, good family, it's good. Let's welcome our own sister Deb. Deborah Sato Collier, good to have you here. Good evening, and of course, Bashir, A.B. D. Blanco Kari. Oh, Casanine. Yeah, so I mean, it is why it is, and we are blessed. Very caring sister. Yeah, so it's good, regardless of get our home. But I said, you brought me here, so if I don't get it to the house, if it is not there, or if it falls short, I will come here, and no complaint is always there. That's some sort of uniqueness about the family too, and so we are kind of like stick together, and we tend to do that. That's how our dad get us going. Okay, let's get to the bigger picture here this evening. I intend to activate this line here as early as soon as possible to while we wait for the analyst. We need to start this conversation here. Too much is ongoing. The same old people protest. I don't understand. I don't understand. But we saw that today. We believe it was the extension PROSA is from the University of Liberia. It's another group. The government, and that's why election, when I say election have consequences, it is why it is. Even be it not even elections. If you want to also have a good society, people have to make ultimate sacrifices. But because we are not used to it, and so sometimes when these major changes are taking place, we know, it looks weird because we are not used to it. However, we make comparison to other cities that these cities are clean, these cities, this not happening, that's not happening. They went through that. So it is because of the system that we have, and people do not want to respect the system. People want to have their own way. So everything is more or less political, and you can't blame them because when it was on the other side, people also play politics with it. When government tries to take some critical decisions to get things fixed, we say no. This group of people they are suffering. This group of people are not doing this, so they should remain untouched. So we leave the system, we drown ourselves into wrongdoing, wrong happening, violate all of the laws, we compromise the laws, we put the laws under the carpet, but as also we want to have a good society. How possible can that be? It's just not possible. You could even fight for the change. At the end of the change, at the end of the day, you can be the victims of that change because you perhaps not been doing something right. Now the system is about to kick in, something is about to happen. Now it doesn't suit your taste, it is not in your favor, so then it becomes a problem. This is not what I requested for. I'm not defending the positions of the government or other things. There are some things that they are doing, which of course they should, you know, it's a gradual process. But I'm also saying moving in the direction that of the former government, the CDC. If the government tries to do multiple things at the same time because they want to play the rhythm to appease their base because they pledge or they are committed to producing quick and fast results, sometimes it doesn't really bear out. You screw up in most cases. So this thing here has to be step by step. I call good conversations, good study. You look at the pros and the cons, the consequences, the outbursts that could potentially happen. I do all of your national conversation. Of course, everybody not going to be on board. There are some people, no matter what, how many conferences you call, whether you're going to Banjul, you're going to Akosombo, there are some there will still say no. But compromise, negotiation, conversations, it should be the last resort. Anything like a force is it just doesn't add up. All right. So let me put this line up here this evening here. Let's hear from you people here. Let's hear from you. And I want you to call. We intend not to sanction voices. You can disagree with me. You can disabuse me or whatever I'm saying. Say, hey, I don't agree with you because you're more or less you're partisans or you are talking in the interest of this group. And we can have that civil conversation. That's the essence of a conference. You see, that's the difference with us. We we are not used to it. And that's what we need to use to as an African. We need to sit at a conference table to have this conversation. and be persuasive in your argument. That is about it. Continue yourself. Do be more or less temperamental. Don't insert yourself. It shouldn't be your feelings. Not empathy, not sympathy as well, but to be real and realistic, because we are talking about a sovereign country. We are talking about a country. So you must know there are people that constitute people that are embedded within that country with different culture, different vision, different political background, social background, ethnic background, and they see it, they review things in a different way. So if you are more or less equipped or informed, that is why you're going to take time to give that sort of education. And this is what we do not do, all of us, including myself. Sometimes people try to find out common thing. It might be common to us, but he or she doesn't know. And then we assume. And so when they ask, we shove it down to their throat. And when you begin to shove things down to the throat of people, when the esophagus cannot take it in, they're going to come out. Who wants to get choked and pass out or die? No. But if we can be a bit tolerant, patient, to explain, to educate why you can't be driving and put your foot through the window when you know you're not supposed to do that. So we play that kind of blind game and educate the people. Joining us from Pittsburgh here this evening is Dr. George Toto, as senior analyst of the Liberia Public Radio, LPP / Tiawan Gonglo, later on Joseph Boyka. I'm not sure whether that his end or he still get more place to go. Yeah, the papa. Sometimes I got on my message, some of the phone there, sometimes you off shade, you need to leave it in the car on the call, that's it. All right, so let me begin Dr. George Toto. Hey, this is a senior analyst of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV, and our own regular contributor here on this network. He's a reaction, but sometimes people don't like his position because people don't like people to be to speak the truth. And this is why people, Dr. Toto, this is why people go down the pit, because there are others there who loyalty just doesn't see anything. It wears dark shades. Even when it's sun not shining in the night and you still wear dark shade. Let me bring in Mr. Evans Morris. Is a reaction, is a strong supporter of President George Weah, but his side, he get his way of doing things, and so sometimes they don't like him. But I'm not going to say that here anyway. I'm not sure nobody hearing it anyway. So, right? There's nobody hearing what I'm saying. I can't say that.
No, you can say I supported the president for my own reasons, but I'm an independent thinker. I like to be straight down. I try to be as objective as I can be. I follow the facts and I have my emotions.
No. I the only Molly Jones and myself the only. How can you get a political side and you say you are independent? What sort of independence is?
No, when my side is wrong, I say it wrong. When it's right, I say it right. That's being objective.
Feelings would still be there and something would be. But anyway, let's disregard that. Gentlemen, Dr. Toto, Evan, good to have you. A good event. Today is Friday. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday.
Yep.
Yes, let's do a little bit here. How is let's do a little bit review. Man, Monday to Friday, that's a long time. God, people going to work, coming in, crazy folks in the traffic there. Sometimes you have the right away, they come, just cause you, and they say they throw any kind of water go. So how? Let's start with you, Evans. How was a week so far?
The week has been kind of up and down. The beginning of the week was nice in terms of the weather. But now it's really cold over here again. So hopefully we get some sunshine. On the political front, I think, the Unity Party has been making some news, some good and some bad. The president's press conference I thought was lackluster. His projection was poor. The way he's not giving a lot of sound to his voice. He's not projecting his voice, loud so we can hear him. For those of us who are not in the country when watching on YouTube, we can barely hear what the president is saying. He did that little expose on the on the agricultural plan for the country. That was maybe the message was good, but we couldn't understand what he was saying because it was so low. The situation with buying 5 vehicles for $500,000. That means that each vehicle is approximately $100,000, and we're a broke country. I've always advocated that this president needs to take us into austerity, financial austerity. We have to start at the bitter pill in order to rebound financially and boost the economy. And yet they're spending 500,000 on 5 vehicles, and not even presidential vehicles or ministerial vehicles for agency. That's appalling. The situation with the case of Jessica Lloyd, I had the privilege to talk to her mother on another platform and interview her with the family lawyer. That case, many people have some feelings that the judge was bribed and whatnot, but I tend to disagree. And maybe if we get into it, I will give you my reason why I disagree. And I think the verdict was probably the correct verdict.
I have a chance to prove, but we're going to go that. Let's welcome Mr. Terry Collins. Why you talk to Collins and you brought in Terry? Are you coming different from here this evening? Why you eliminated the Collins and you just throw
Shimo, Congo, sir.
I didn't do that, Mr. So I thought you did that or Labor did that. I don't know. But
no. The only person who always mess around you is a liberal. But I told you, and you don't listen to me. You always hang out with the guy. The next thing, and he took the Collins or he left Terry or the next thing the Terry will go. When the Terry go, you know what that means.
Then I'm totally out there.
Good to have you here. We at Duffus Zolsanya say, I am here. We are glad to have you here, Mr. Zolta. Real good to have you here as well. So let me put it there. You see, my own.
Yeah, Mr. Tu Ali will have.
Good people. You see, I got a man to leave it there.
You are the independent voice now. You got to balance it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why sometimes I swallow.
Thank you.
Hey, let me do this thing here. Okay, Dr. Toto. Too much going on. What is your position now? Where are you now politically? You one of the Boishians? We're not hearing you.
I don't think he's muted.
You want to unmute your mic, Dr. Toto? Because it's not from my end. Your mic is muted. You have to unmute your mic. The bronze can't even swim. Bro, now all is wrong going out of the bronze.
How do I go out with the Russian or Liberal try to do something to me on?
All I hear is a group of people now. So what draft EV?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to beat myself. Yeah, why? But like you said, also good to be back with you again. But a lot of happy this week, in our political spectrum, and while going to the country. But I do still support Ambassador Boyka, and I can see 100 days coming to an end, and I can see 80 to 90% of what he promised in a campaign will be fulfilled in 100 days. We can see we can feel the impact of it in Liberia or in the economy, and things are going on good. There are a lot of drawback, but the drawback is not sufficient to overturn or to poke a dark spot on a 100-day mark in government. So I think President Boyka is on the right path, and that's the reason why we join him. And we think he's going to make a big difference. When it comes to the issue of the justice system in Liberia, sometimes we blame the justice system like the way our prosecutor want to take cases. But the way in which the justice system operate when indictment is put out, the way the court go and interpret those laws and things, we don't even know. We just get away with public sentiment, with emotion, and cast a dark cloud on the justice system in Liberia. the issue of Sarah Waterspoon. We discussed on the show here before when Sarah Waterspoon was first indicted for his crime. We discussed on the show here. We said that I think since on a particular platform that time we discussed, we should have rushed to judgment. That would how the justice system will play up. The way we interpret the law on our own when the people enter that courthouse is different from the way they carry on. So that's the same thing in Liberia also too. I know people are disappointed, people who are hurt while the guy who committed the crime or the alleged crime was not indicted or found guilty, but that's the justice system. It works everywhere. We just have to have trust in our justice system and try to improve on the system. But with the improvement of Ambassador Burger, we are on track, the government on track, and the 100-day delivery will be successful.
So you, from what I'm hearing on, there's a red line. You put in the red line through the whole thing. Mission accomplished. You remember George Bush and with the Iraq mission accomplished. That's similar. That's what
we are not saying mission accomplished here. We just saying that despite the time in office right now, what they achieved right now going to that 100-day. They have a little bit of drawback, but it's not sufficient to overturn.
A little bit of drawback. I will hold you. We're going to hold that constant. That little bit, we don't know the weight of that bait because everything matters. We need to know that as well. Let me go to Terry. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Soul. Good evening to the panel. Dr. Toto, you've been away for a while. Welcome back. And to Evis, how you doing, my brother? So, actually, my concern strictly have to do with the motorcyclists because, I'm a businessman and I had 2 motorbikes in Liberia when I was there. I even used to ride bike. So I'm not proud to say it. So I understand the nitty-gritty.
Guys, how are you guys? This the country here, people can be doing plenty of things. Sometimes there's, man can't talk all. So about you guys, I just need to answer this call here more or less whoever related. So let me just, but I'm listening. I'll be right back in a minute.
Yeah. So, so I understand motorcycle business because I have bikes. I have bikes that I was renting for people. I was giving bikes to people to run it for me. So I have motorbikes to survive, especially during Madam Shirley time. All right. And I understand what it means to ride motorbike in Monrovia, the city, what a motorcycle gets in a day when he rides his bike, especially going in the city. Now, the restriction that they want to give them, to restrict them to feeder roads will not help them to generate money. Because each bike rider, some of those bike riders, they can even buy motorbikes, and they have to, like for example, if I own a bike and I give it to a rider, the best way you can get your money out of that bike is to tell the rider that work and pay. So the man will ride a motorbike and be able to pay you more than the regular money that a regular rider will ride for. For example, a regular rider will ride in Liberia and pay $600 every day. But when you riding the bike, giving the bike to a rider for work and pay, the rider will bring you sometimes $900, sometimes $1,000 because he want to quickly finish off that bike. So in order to do that, the feeder roads will not be able to support them. Some of those riders are in huge susu. They got to meet up with certain amount every day. So the best way to do it, because some people want to get to town quicker, they will tell you, say, my man, I get you 200. I stop in Broad Street. My man, I get you 300. That is how motorcycles make their money. Are you understanding me? So I think the government needs to regulate them of what kind of rider can reach in the city, then to totally eliminate them from riding to the capital city. I think that if they do that, it will not be good for the country. And we will not be able, Joseph Boakai will not be able to have a government that will be able to withstand the pressure that will come against him. He will not be able to do that because most of the riders you see, some of them are criminals that chose to leave the criminality and go into riding bikes. So if you stop that, if you hinder that from them, they will react by going back into doing criminal work or protesting or doing some things that chaos that will create instability in the country. Now, Ellen did it before. During Ellen time, they restricted motorcyclists to feeder roads. And when they did that, a lot of bike riders were not generating money. And I know how it works because I was in the system before. I understand the system. And each of those bike riders are also paying money to the union. Those unions are collecting money. So and like Gregory Coleman said on Sky FM, Gregory knows very much because he's a breast, and he says something very, very salient that this team asking the question why they can't just eliminate motorcyclists. So he said, but these people are bringing revenue to the country. Your government opened the business for the people to be able to pay their taxes. They pay for license plate and they pay for documents to plow the street. So if you remove them from on the street, then it means that you are disenfranchising them of their legitimate constitutional rights. So with that being said, I think the government need to approach the motorcyclists with a well-constructed ideas that will allow them to plow the street of Monrovia, but with a more profound regulation.
Okay, thank you so much. Elvis, you ever hit a talking point for this evening? But before that, today, as usual, like you're always like to be in a dramatic positions, and all of these politicians all have to raise and bond these little alligators. No, they were what should I say? They were little, but they are all grown. They are all grown on now. So let's see this here, and we can have a conversation here. Courtesy of the online LPR-TV. Let's give them that credit.
As the voice of Representative Francis Foko, District 9, Knoxville County. Down, corruption down, fire disaster down, demolition down, corrupt to fuckers down, active property down, lonely, fire beating, lonely, fire beating, lonely.
Guys, interestingly, this is the society that we have nowadays. I think we had this sort of conversation there, how things been channeled and how the politicians been very much successful to manipulate and get these guys on their side the way they do things. If it works for Team A, Team B can learn that lesson and also work. Let's have a conversation. This is Prosac, is another from the University of Liberia. You see how they dress people from different backgrounds. Now, was there any thought that we're going to see this sort of thing happening as early as this? Here now, and talking about even the bike rattled, the planned actions and all of that. Elvis, let me just bring you in here. Our society, it's becoming complex on a daily basis to really find a sort of conversation because of things happening every moment, every second.
I want to say this, and I want to look at this in a broader scope. I supported the CDC. I supported President Weah during these past elections. But this is who we are as a people, as Liberians. I remember Terry and Sister Goya was having a conversation when Terry was talking about the culture. Many people pushed back on him. no matter who you bring in that country, unless you bring people who were probably born
TV
and
or
was raised in other society where they value integrity,
oh,
they value rule of law, they value honesty, and bring them in Liberia to be in all of the government positions and all the civil service in the position. That's the only way we will probably minimize corruption. And I'm not saying that other nations and other races of people are not corrupt, but in Liberia, we have a unique corrupt attitude. So whether it's under Boyka or under Weah, elements of corruption will be there. What we're seeing now, I will give you a man like Roland Giddens. And he is somebody who, sorry, I have somebody at my door. I have to get something real quick. I will be right back. So,
Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Dr. Toto, you want to come in?
yeah, I mean, I saw that video today about people protesting. I mean, they have it is their constitutional right to protest peacefully, but the allegation they levy in that protest is kind of very disheartening. As they earlier, what is the evidence that they have to show to prove that Ambassador Joseph Boga is corrupt or is running a corrupt empire government as compared to the CDC government, which most of them support. We saw the incompetency that was in George Weah government in the first 90 days, and we saw how he started demolishing his property, building his real estate right before their eyes, and we saw a whole lot of bad practices that went on in Weah government, and the United Party government saw that. Other people that were supporting opposition blast saw that. So I don't know where they're coming from at this early stage, putting corruption, or maybe they are being influenced by maybe some hidden hands or maybe some sedition to tell them to get out to protest. But the allegation that they left in their
Are you saying the action been influenced by sedition?
probably,
You have a lawmaker now who are more
probably the action being influenced by some hidden here or maybe some sedition. We saw Akara Grace have been running up and down, calling for protest until them. After he came out in protest, even or Senator Mange even distanced himself from his protest. So we see a lot of things going on. But at the early stage for them to allege that according to the government or corrupt government, what is the evidence they have to show to prove that this government is corrupt? It sounds funny or unbelievable. That I could hear they say Ambassador Boyka talking about fire veteran. So are they saying that there are no assistance have been given to the fire veteran? You have your own speaker who also a fire veteran, and he talk about the assistance that he been received from government. But Ambassador Boyka called him, even their own former president, Weah, donate clothes or suitcases to their people, the speaker. So they see all this things going on. So where are they coming from talking about justice for fire veteran? Go find radio speaker. Yeah.
So, please let me finish my thought. I know I got interrupted. Please.
Yeah, they're volunteer since he's in the middle now, right? He learned so.
Yeah, so so I don't know what the proof they show. What the allegation they bring forth that they want to get on the protest. It just every pick it up from there.
All right, thank you. When you're talking about corruption, the people in the country, they see what's going on. They see that it's more of the same. I was making, I was alluding to Roland Giddens, who were on all of these different platforms, propagating the message of the United Party. Once he got there, he was dealing with the same people who he was calling corrupt and was doing underhand business with the George Weah administration. He's dealing with them now, giving contracts to people and getting kickbacks. People see the different forms of corruption that is permeating this government, and that's why I was making that caveat that it's not just because of Joseph Boyka or George Weah. Some people tend to put all of the corruption, the cumulative corruption of an administration and put it on the head of the president and deem that president to be corrupt. That's why I was making that point, because there's a lot of corruption already going on. And the people that's on the ground, some of us will watch these things on YouTube and we read a newspaper, But these people are saying it. That's why they're saying it. No, to say that these guys are empty brains and people put ideas in the brain and wind them up like the Energizer Bunny and make them to go out there and protest, I think that's insulting to them. Most of these young people I learned, they went to university, they follow the issues on the ground, they see what they know what corruption is. They've been living it for 20 to 30 years. They know what it is. So when they see it, they're going to call it out. That's why they're calling it out. So this whole situation with the fire victims, President Boyga did something that was seen as also almost magical in a political sense, that he went and sympathized with the victims of the Total fire, situation, which is close to your heart, that Dr. Toto will understand. And many people thought that that was just something that was going to be regular for him. But when national tragedy happened, since President we had never, did things like that, President Boyga would take the role of a fatherly figure and, a consoling father and go and sympathize with people. That was one time. He has never gone there to console with even the poor people in the slums. But he went to the man who had the means to rebuild his home, the man who had the means to even buy or build another home. He was there the next morning. So the people are saying that fire victims, the helpless ones who are living in cages they call homes, who don't have a routine. That's why my family members in Liberia, because of some of these things, I made them go through a fire drill. Have your keys at the same spot every night before you go to bed. Know where it is. If you have children in the house, when you hear that sound, call them. Put your hand to your nose, walk to the door, open that door calmly. Don't be fumbling the keys while you're dropping it. And then you can't find the keys because the smoke is in your eyes. People need to understand how to operate in fire. When we go to work, when we go to schools, people teach us how to operate in fire. 99% of the time you won't experience it. But that 1% of the time, that training comes into him. So when President Boyka is not giving us even this thing with the bike boards, that's why I said the president, people say, oh, he would be a better communicator than George Weah. You have to make your policy clear, the intent of your policy and the benefit that if implemented, the Liberian people will see. If you're telling these bike boys you don't want it to run on the road, what's the reason? Is it an economic reason? Is it a safety issue? What's the reason? Project it to the nation so people can understand, okay, we ain't like what he's doing, but at least he told us it's a public safety hazard. At least he told that it's congesting the roads. People are not traveling easily on the roads. Tell them why you're doing it. Don't just make a fiat, announcement or decree and allow people who depend on this as a livelihood to accept it laying down. You have to make a sound and rational reason behind your policy decisions, and he didn't do that. So that's why you have the confusion with the bike boys right now. Just wanted to say that.
Okay, I think Terry been very quiet.
Let me just come in 1 second before Terry come in. Let me just conclude my statement. When it comes to the issue of the bike rider situation, I support the work of Gregory Cuomo. We have to have a system in place. The issue is not bad. It's not just only for economic reasons that they bring revenue, to generate revenue, but there's no system in that coordination. If you were in Morovia, you drove in Morovia, you see how the congestion when it comes to bike riding, and also the other one the other yellow one they call the keke. We have to have a system policy put in place. Or Gregory Cuomo, they all learn safety mechanism and the route for them to go on.
Let me bring in Terry here. Let me bring in Terry over. Terry, you've been listening very quietly, patiently, trying to get a pick of both Evie's argument and that of Dr. Toto. Which way are you?
Well,
Terry, 1 second, please.
Okay. Yeah,
let me get a caller here quick. We don't want to keep them. Caller, are you there?
He's very low.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, come in. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, what on?
Yes.
Okay, let's hear you. What on?
So, brother, and I'd like to say hi to the panelists. Why it is true that we will critique where necessary and we will employ where necessary. Sometimes I find it very hard when I hear people condemn certain things supported back then. My brother George Toto, when the students were participating in national politics, demonstrating under President Weah came in and said on this platform, advocate for student leads on their campus and not to get involved in national politics, except where they go into a political party and do that. And I was told that everybody got it right. They should do it because it was against President Weah. Now that they are doing it against the same people, not different people. But I know all those faces over there were at the university when they were doing it against President Weah. The very same people, they were not being motivated by any political party or leader. It's just a culture at the university that since the progressive movement at the university indoctrinated the students that it has been passed down from generation to generation at the university, and those children continue to live like that, thinking they can just agitate against national government and get away with it. So I see them demonstrating about corruption, about extrajudicial killing, and he said, "Where's the proof?" Well, let me tell you what the proof is. President Waka was not president or inaugurated as the president of Liberia. He was president-elect with his office. And I know Mr. Crispin just didn't get up and write a letter to NASCAR asking them for cars. If he had to get instruction from President Waka at the time, President-elect Waka, who already had a sitting government asking for 5 cars that cost over $500,000. That's the corruption. So if you don't see any corruption, that's the corruption talking about. And they have not distanced themselves from it. In fact, they agree to it. And then you will come on this platform and tell our Liberian people and our listeners that you don't see what the accusation and level against President Waka. And I say it's hypocrisy.
Okay.
It's deception at its highest.
Okay. So let me hold you there. Who's the next person? You can stay on, just mute your phones so we can get a feedback. 202 number, 2214. Are you there?
Yeah, good evening. This is Bertwell.
Oh boy. Let's hear it.
I beg you don't say, oh boy, I know you give me a little bit of time. No.
No.
You know, I really want to respond to Terry yesterday, but I called Mr. to receive the incident of
Wait, Todd will be on tomorrow. You can't call it. But go ahead quickly.
No, my brother Terry, I love the energy yesterday that you gave me. Talk about my LA Bay or airport, my LA Bay or Messina complex, my LA do they want, my LA do they want, and forget about all those still responsibility that she performed on 12 years. She got a mansion now, boy. I got boy just second third floor. Got boy from 2006. Do you know how many people put money in a mansion? And they refuse to build a mansion. They say that renovate a mansion. Do you know how much money put there? When you're just naming those few envelope of things, you're naming at there that were where they did. Forget about the Google consider agreement in the sun. You don't discuss that one, but you're looking at a few more. Even the municipal company talking about our president we are finishing. The airport you talking about, what airport you built? They had a money that was to build new airport. She go build a renovation. She know the correct renovation. That president we are build new terminal. So again. So if you don't know that one, let me give you that. Let me come to Mr. Toe. Toto. I want to come out. I see that yesterday, and I commented. And I said to you, you were commenting about the speaker of clothes from President Weah and asking how will he get it close. But for them to tell us when Joseph Boga takes $50,000 United States dollar fund and go to a fire business. And you very honest show again and saying, oh, the man went this one. From the day we went to fire business, are we all saying going to fire business? If I want for this over, I'll get money. I can build a room house. They took all the West Point. The horses got born. About 6 horses. You never put a foot there. Even down to New York, right by here, to 12th Street. People horses got broken. You know one day. People fire the whole church building. Got damaged. Have you saw in there? When you guys sit there and make us say politics, I want to sit down and look and say, yeah. Because the education that going happy is not education that people can listen to. The common people to get idea. But because you make it difficult for people to come out correct and say things. If you use the policy alone and bring the logic in it.
Let's leave it there. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's leave it there. So let's be serious. When you get government that came for rescue, and you do the same thing.
Let's leave it there. The time finish.
The whole different. I'm not doing it.
No, I said, now you will tell me you finish. I'm telling you your time finish. I'm
not doing it.
No. Hello?
Security people.
Hello?
Security people.
Hello?
Hello?
That's how you can start coup d'etat in our country. I say your time finish. Not finish. So you
no, they don't make anyone here. Security people, EPS, and find those people. If they people demonstrating, they say that means nothing.
Okay.
Oh, do you want when you all protesting all Broad Street?
Thank you.
On the street or the ministry?
I gotta go to my analyst. Thank you so much.
Okay, I want to learn. I'll bring you. You want to learn?
We learn. No. Only analyst can be here. Only can.
Okay, let me comment on some comment.
No. Hold on. You're crossing the red line. Bye.
No, what's it?
How you're going to start stirring trouble up. Okay, Terry, carry on.
So, Breakable, that discussion was held. Yeah.
Everything, I didn't even get what you were saying.
Yeah, I don't even know. You just joined everything together. But Breakable, that discussion you was carrying on last night, you can't defend it. You understand that? Madam Sirleaf was the one who built the airport. She built a new airport. All right, the ones that will pass through President Weah did not build no terminal. So stop that kind of thing. President Weah only built a new, how you call it, VIP lodge. That was what he did. There is no new terminal that President Weah built. So I don't know what you're talking about. President Weah were building, the construction was already laid out by Madam Sirleaf. He didn't build no new terminal. That's not true because I was just in Liberia in 2021. All right. So I don't get what you're talking about. But anyway, and the ministerial complex, you can't even compare what Madam Sirleaf did to President Weah. The two of them are far apart. And I know you were justified by Madam Sirleaf 12 years. So, but I don't want to get stuck down that rabbit hole because we got a lot of things here to discuss. The discussion here is border on whether if the protests were right or wrong. I would say the protests were right. Every Liberian have the right to protest. Even in America here, just today they were protesting in Minnesota somewhere. Every day in America, people protesting one way or the other for something. But whether if the protest is a big thing that is going to threaten the democratic process of President Weah, or whether if what they are saying in the protest is true or makes sense, I will tell you no. What they are saying in the protest does not make sense. It don't. You understand, eh? The aspect of the motorcyclists, Gregory Coleman said he putting in mechanism, he gave them up to the 15 to be regulated from the city. The motorcyclists got great concerns. Like I just outlined to you, the motorcyclists, they got great concern. They can protest genuinely for their rights to plow the street. All right. Even though I support that they be regulated. I think, in my opinion, that the best way Gregory Coleman can do the motorcyclists is to call each motorcyclist and pin them to a workshop that they will go to the ranks and file, because most of them getting hurt badly. They get hurt badly because most of them do not even go through the proper procedure to know how to ride. Gregory was even explaining about drivers. One of the major reasons why there are accidents in Liberia often is because drivers do not go through the proper the driver testing before getting their license. The moment they go to the police station, they apply for something, they bribe one or two people, they get their license. Whether they can drive, they get their license. The same with the motorcyclists need to have license. In America here, you can ride motorcycle without having a license. You can get arrested for it. So I don't know why Gregory then are not giving motorcyclists lesson. They need to have license. And if you don't have a license, it must be demanded that you cannot ride motorbike. You must have a license. And the license will go along with testing. You have to go through testing to get a license. And you got to be approved before you can get a license. So if these things are put into place, you will not bother yourself as regarding whether a motorcycle can come to the center city or not. Because obviously the people need to make money. And if you are a motorcyclist, I control a lot of bikes in Liberia and all of that. If you are a motorcyclist and you live in Maria and run in Maria, the feeder roads will not be able to support you. You will not make money. I'm saying it because I know about it. You will not make money. Motorcyclists make their money when they ride in the street because people want to travel from one distance to another. The longer the distance, the more the money, the more the motorcyclist is able to bridge the gap on his expenses. Most of the motorcyclists are what they're using to pay their children's school fee. That's what they're using to feed themselves every day. All right. So they need that. So there are so many strategies that Gregory can put into place to get that done. With the aspect of these people talking about, the people corrupt, the government corrupt, what evidence you get to prove? What you mean? I listen to Everett talking about, all those things you're talking, bro, is like you speaking in jargons. Because President, we are with all the corruption in your government, you guys didn't say nothing. Nothing you said. President Boka been in power for just 4 months. And that we agree there are some irregularities going on.
No, hold on now, we shouldn't do this. The way you can kind of like perform surgery on our country with this one here, that is sort of comparison thing that it doesn't matter though. I'm not saying corruption is there, but the idea people like to put hope on something, it just too soon, or it just gets
I didn't say it too soon.
No, it's just 4 months. So just 4 months is like relative to it too soon that we can't talk about corruption or people cannot accuse. The only thing when somebody said this person is doing it, we need to bring them to the point to tell us exactly where it is and where can we find these sort of allegations. Go ahead.
Mr. Sophie, give me 10 seconds. Let me respond to Terry before Josh comes.
Wait, we give me 10. Let me speak. We're not in a dialogue here. What I'm saying is this, right?
I'm sending it back.
I listened to this guy, Amara Connor. I heard that Amara Connor and what his name, Darius Dillon, I think recommending to the president that Grace P be fired. I don't know for what. All right, but because of something allegations that they are allegedly saying that there's some level of corruption, or he asked for money, blah 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 during the campaign, all the kind of thing. I mean, when President Boka was president-elect. So.
Mr.
And now they are saying,
check your link. Check your
so and all of that. There is no definitive evidence revealing. There is no definitive evidences revealing that President Boka is corrupt. Okay, if you say Grace P was involved with this, that, and the other, and you recommending that he resign or he go through persecution, that makes sense. But you cannot prove anything here tonight that would justify that President Boka is corrupt. Because what seditionists want to do, they want to pin President Boka with President Weah corruption in his first period of time. They want to tell us that, the same thing President Weah was doing, that the same thing you're doing. But they never had the guts to tell President Weah that he was stealing. They didn't get the guts to say that. But today, they're able to look at President Boka and say he's stealing, he's corrupt, but they can't prove it. Because maybe you think that there are elements around him that are being accused of corruption, so that means that he is corrupt. No, that's not how it's done. You have to be able to prove something that a man is. You never see President Boka doing any kind of development or doing something or taking money from anywhere. You can't prove anything.
Are you kidding me? Mr. So please let me come in here, please.
Come in. I don't have a problem with that.
We're gonna do it one time. George is in, and we got to keeping track of the time. We can carry on, and other people be as protected.
Yeah, but you gotta give me 30 seconds to respond before by Josh coming. You just be a interjection.
No, hold on. I will determine that. Just take note of what he's saying. He just came and why? everybody want to respond.
Right.
We got to keep.
But so just 1 second. I don't know how about title change here. What did you do? I said,
you put your total, maybe you want to be senator for total. I see total, senior citizen for total, all of that. So I said,
how you appear there? I didn't do that. I don't know how you appear there.
Well, not me.
Anyway.
So who you board member for what? Where I want that?
No, that's a different organization. But I don't know how they attach to
They're your
LPR.
own, they're your own thing that you put there that ain't coming to town. Yeah. So if they total town on your high, total town district on your high, 20 to 20 what?
2029.
You see, you want to, you know. Listen, are you in Texas now?
I'm right in the backyard of Americana. They share the one property here in Joe Barker and that was the long own. Right in the alleyway to the left where you get called about, but that's where I'm residing right now.
Yeah, okay. Professor Boya, good evening, welcome.
Yeah, how you doing, man? I miss all of you. Hey, I'm out here on vacation, but I thought to pop on before LPR will forget about me. I'm all the way in Arizona. I'm in the desert. So
In Arizona?
Oh wow.
yeah.
Okay. Good to know that.
We heard that it's hot out there.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
95 degree Terry, 95. If you can imagine
Wow.
95.
get up.
Man, none of your weather.
No. I'm buying bleaching cream when I come back. Just to get back to my
Yeah, man. I went to school at that place. She said, yeah, I went to school. And I tell God I get away from that place.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know. Okay, Amos George, good evening, welcome.
How you doing, Mr. Soul, Dr. Toto, Mr. Goya, Terry, and how all you all be doing, man?
Yeah, Pajo, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so let's hear you. Too much going
Yeah,
on. Too much going on here now.
Look, for me, anybody want to protest, it is the right under the Constitution. Once you don't obstruct other people's movement, I don't have a problem. You can protest. It's good to protest. You know, sometimes they say is that the end result when people don't listen, then you protest so they can listen. What are people not listening? That one thing. What are they listening is another one. So they gotta protest is the right. But this motorcyclist thing, Terry, I will challenge you. You know, I don't know where were you before the war. These are some of the challenges that the war brought to us, motorcyclists. When we were growing like that, well, nobody could ride motorcycle for transportation in Monrovia. Nobody. It was after the war, people went to Guinea, Mali, then they brought in the other, it came, and they transported to Liberia. Having said that, it's not bad. But if it's done in an orderly manner, perfect. Georgia is part of this problem today again. During the early time when all the armed robbery was on the increase in Liberia, the police did observe that motorcyclists, motorbikes were used in commission of most of the crime because of the area to go and the easier to get away. So what they did, they came up with a plan. They said motorbikes should not come down Central Monrovia. They should run in the community single all the way going. And by 10 o'clock, there should be no more motorbike in the street.
That's true.
No, you didn't say that.
I don't have to. That way you on the planet.
No,
You're on the planet. I don't have to say
you
everything.
said that you only talk about livelihood, and that's my problem. Say the facts. Say all. Don't only say they want to shoot you.
I said everything. You are not here.
Hold on.
Hold on. You are talking. I didn't interrupt you, old man. So give me a break.
Let's make one so we can go to the next.
To say because these people on livelihood of this thing, they can go any part of the city at any time. It's not right.
But anyway, go ahead.
Terry, I give you perfect decorum when you were speaking. I didn't even say a word. I had my hand on.
Sorry, Pastor.
I don't know why you people, your United Party CDC people, you always get jittering when people trying to lay off some things.
You rather throw it out from one country now.
Right. So when they discovered that it was put in place, those measures were put in place, and it was working. Joe, we actually during the time of our election, he said, motorcyclist, it is your right, you can go anywhere, nobody should stop you people. Brought the whole batch again to Monrovia. These people posed a security threat to you and myself and to so many Liberians. These people don't observe any traffic rules. They hate you. Let me put a scenario there. The people will say, you see the devil, you got to pay a fine. The devil see you, you got to pay a fine. So the motorcycle is in the category. They hate you, they will beat you. You hate them, they will beat you. What kind of people are these people? You're driving, motorcycle will double cross you, cut you off, but by mistake, if that taxi or who touch them, you either leave that car and run away for your life because the way. Vandalize that car. They hate you, they will jump on you. This is not a society that we want to build for everybody. And so when I hear people talking, it's a livelihood. Nobody says don't live on your livelihood. But remember, it is not a right. It is a privilege. To drive a car or to operate any automobile, it is a privilege. If you cannot abide by the law, they will take it from you.
Okay.
It's not a right.
All right.
So I want to tell you people, Terry, you say you own some motorcycle, you operate some motorcyclists, or whatever you do.
Yeah, you come and do your policeman work now?
No, I'm not doing it, but it's not police work. Here in America, to drive in America, it is a privilege, it's not your right. That's why I said that they can revoke your license if you don't abide by the rules. They revoke it. So it is not your right. It is a privilege they gave you. If you abuse it, they can take it from you.
Right. So
the same thing should apply to Liberia. We all want to make Liberia an exceptional case, which is bad, and not for the good. It's all for the worst thing. And that's just wrong. So I'm saying to you people who got motorcyclists, helping them to earn income, I don't have a problem. The police director said the other day, listen to Gregory Kuma, that we are working with the motorcyclists and other community people to institute measures to cut down this kind of behavior.
Okay, in 30 seconds.
Yeah, because we cannot go like this as a group of people, as citizens. We are part of the international world, not because someone didn't marry, so it must be done in Liberia. No. So I'm saying to you people, these people should be regulated. And Graceful issue. Graceful was not confirmed at the time. Allegedly, he asked Social Security to gain a certain amount of money. So what the other Konya saying, Graceful should man up. If you say that was a mistake, come on and say, look, I made a mistake. But this is what I did. This is how it should have been done.
Okay.
But he has not taken responsibility. So they are not saying that Joseph Walker is corrupt. They are saying that they're going to write to Mr. Graceful to resign because he was not authorized to take 100 and some thousand from Social Security, and they want that money to be paid back.
Let me bring in. I want to come to you, Eric. Just hold your peace. Let's usher in Mr. Goyat. Just come in, let everybody do their little round table hitting point, and then we come back. Mr. Goyat, how is Phoenix, Arizona? You met Jeffrey?
No, not yet. I came here to protest the total ban on abortion. So I've had a few meetings already. The former lieutenant colonel that was out there by Donald Trump, the guy who I linked to Ukraine, is running for Senate. So we came here to try to raise some money for him.
Oh, okay.
My man, you supporting my man Donald Trump? That's my man.
Colonel Vindman?
What part of, yeah, Colonel Vindman. What part of the thing I said I thought about supporting Donald Trump? Don't ever.
No, I just asking. I know you're not talking about.
No, it's almost like me telling you belong to the devil as a pastor. That is the kind of thing you bring it to me. Don't put that on my name. Doesn't come close to me at all.
I know you are going fire about.
That man is a progressive. He's a progressive. He's the opposite of Trump.
I don't advocate against myself. I don't vote against myself. There are people who said that he was good for the economy, but my humanity is worth more to me than money. So we're here. We came all the way down to Arizona to do the Democratic Party work. That's how we do our thing. We don't just limit ourselves to Minnesota. Now, having said that, back to Liberian politics. Look, two things. Number one, on the issue of the money from Social Security. The president pro temp has already put together a team to investigate some 85 or 80 some more $1 million loan that the bank gave to the then George Weah government. If the Senate is investigating that, it's also only fair that they investigate if somebody inappropriately took money from another institution of government, which is the Social Security Administration. That is only fair and that is only right. We can't only be seeking justice and running behind the CDC government and then let's only be in our face and pretend we're not seeing it. So I think the Senate is within its rights. But I understand that people want to say it's not Mr. Boakai that is corrupt. But again, like some of us said during the Weah administration, the buck stops with the president. The president might not have personally taken the money, but people that he entrusted to us have taken the money, and therefore we hold him accountable. Grace B didn't run for anything in Liberia. It was Boakai that was on the ballot. It was Boakai that we voted for. Now, on the issue of the motorbike riders, let me take a little hard line here. I like it when our old pops and these progressives and people who were alive during the day when he would say "Wureamo" and Thomas say and Thomas back it up and Richie Henry said that true and then it finished. So we go back and say, oh, during those days, motorbike was not people who ride motorbike in Liberia. Yeah, that's a fact though. But also remember during those days, we were still paying hot tax. So let's not just take part of it and leave the other part out. With population growth comes a lot of other things, and one of those is transportation. Sadly, Monrovia was not built for the number of occupants it has right now. And Liberia, the road situation was not built for the transportation with just vehicles alone. And so for me, look, I'll take a hard line. If you look at the people who ride motorbikes, the stock that they come from are from the poorer, less fortunate economic class. To start saying now that certain people have privilege, that you can travel by certain means by taxis so you can commit crime. I remember we had one taxis in Monrovia during the theater time, and armed robbery was high on the increase. We didn't have motorbikes. We were not blocking taxis for carrying people in town. I think what the government has failed to do, successive governments, starting with Ellen to George Weah and now to this government, is to come up with a logical and comprehensive plan that you can hold people accountable to. Yes, I understand these motorbike riders, by and large, do not follow traffic laws and traffic signs. But I've seen taxi drivers in Monrovia that have been making three lane or 2 lanes. And so we don't go and park all of the taxis. What we do is we penalize them. And I think people have to have laws that penalize these things. But what I want to push back on my paper, George, particularly, is somehow to try to draw a line between motorbikes use and crime. There are no correlation there. Just because somebody was running away in a getaway vehicle or a motorbike doesn't draw a correlation between motorbikes and crimes. People could have chattel taxis. So if I go and have armed robbery and I was in an Isuzu, you ban all Isuzus? No, you won't. And so I think that the government has to be very logical. Like the big boys and the big girls have to sit down and think about how to tackle these. You can't tell people, say, motorbike can't go certain part of Monrovia. What if I work and I can't afford the taxi ride, or that there are not even enough taxis to take me where I have to go, right? Who provides for that? And that borders on actually infringing on the right of movement of Liberian citizens. By the way, you cannot impede the right of movements of Liberian citizens. And so the Liberian government, if they're going to say motorbikes can go to a certain part of the town, they have to make sure that they are providing the appropriate alternative. And that is also within the affordability of the citizenry. You can't just black people and say, motorbike can't. So yes, but people that only rely on motorbike, okay, only afford motorbike to go places. I think that's my 2 points. That's my 2 cents. Motorbike riders should be allowed to go anywhere taxi riders go. They should be regulated.
But there must be a system. Okay, let me come to Elvis now. This is quite interesting because strengthening of society, it comes with disciplined sacrifices. I have my own opinions, views based on what I saw, and I experiment it, and I talk to people. Unlike Ghana, you would never, and I was in a taxi and I talked to a man just before coming to Elvis, for which this guy here, Philly Woods, is in Philadelphia. He has this, what I call safety, something. We visited his site, very organized, nice structure where they're educating people by rider to use helmet and all of that kind of stuff. And I took a ride and I was talking to one of the guys. He said, why you guys don't use helmet? Do you have a helmet? And I asked him, he said, yeah. I said, where is it? He said, it's home. So I said, but why? You know the danger involved for God, for example, if there was an accident. So people, I think I made people hate. You put on your head, the heat, it can be easy to make people head hot. I said, is that the only reason? Yes, but do you have it? Yes. So these people that get it and they keep it at home. So I said, why do you think you're on this high cement quota here? Suppose your hair go on this here, you know what's gonna happen to you? He said, yeah, they want part that one, then you finish. So I said, when you finish, you think what are going to happen to your family? You think you even have access to the world? So I think there's some sort of disconnect here. The way our people or the way we channel things, everything force cannot resolve. Sometimes these people, you just have to bring them to the reality and create. I mean, they know it, but they are deliberate because nobody is enforcing it. And I think that's one of the danger people now worrying, and it's dangerous. I witnessed an incident where they used to have this Ministry of Agenda, Water and Sewer area there. Man, it was horrible. But let me come to Elvis before he loses thought of his stuff here. I know Amos Joy going to respond because since you know the people from Arizona, right?
I many to call the Papini. I know he will be sitting there in one time, but many to call him.
You know the man is in Arizona right now, so his behavior, the way of doing things, no one here now.
Yeah, the heat. So yeah, so
we own Terry from Minnesota, so you from Georgia, you all can loot votes. Trust me, you're gonna be the next person you come to. But Elvis.
All right, thank you. You know, I quenched the fire out in my belly now, so I have to, clean up myself. I would first say I agree with Pat George on his point about the motorcyclists. I'll get to that point, but I want to draw a parallel here, and it just goes to the Liberian man or Liberian woman's psyche. When George Weah tried to take people off the street, the marketers who were selling on the street and put them in a market building, the mega market, the other market, I think the Douala market or whatever he built. Those people said they were not making money. So they left the confines of that market, structure and came back on the street, congesting the road, making the place dirty. The place it flies all over the place because the fish been sitting in the sun for so long that they didn't see the benefit for the nation. And George, we have former president, we have failed to articulate the reason why he wanted to do that. What was the safety reasons and decongesting the city? He failed to come out and give a speech on why he wanted that and what the benefit to the people was going to be. That's why the people didn't see the benefit. They thought they were trying to take money out of their pockets. The same thing with the motorcyclists. Motorcyclists can go places that Texas can go, and that's why a lot of people like to use them. So to Pa George's point, if you go into these corner, like, as we can say, like, bro, if you go into the corner and you want to go do some kind of crime, maybe even the person that's owning the bike is in cahoots with you. You can go into some kind of little dare road. You join me somebody else when maybe they're trying to catch you. You jump on that bike, you go and you speed up. Nobody can run past bike to catch up with you. So motorcycle that was because it was backed by facts. A lot of motorcyclists were doing almost like drive-by robbery. Jump off the bike, either they snatch somebody first, jump back on the bike and run away. Go in somebody's house, see one or two things, jump on the bike and run away. These are little tight, narrowing roads that Texas, even regular cars can go on. We're using that to their advantage. And right now, Texas drivers are hurting because a lot of people, they don't like to take Texas to go to the house because, some people live on the dusty roads what Texas don't really do well in, and they take bike. They say, oh, Texas don't come down the way. On a bike can come here. So the bikes are actually in the advantageous position right now because they can go pretty much everywhere. They can go on the main street, they can go on the dusty road, they can go in the corner. So they're benefiting the most when it comes to transportation in the country. Like everybody else is saying, regulation is important. The same thing with the fire situation in our country. We lack regulation. People build homes without alleyways. People build homes without proper, wiring or plumbing. People build homes without any, thought about what will happen if I get in a fire in my house or when all over the window. Some people can jump through the window when the fire is so bad. They jump on the second story. They may be hurt, but they will survive. Who in Liberia can jump through the window? Everybody got iron bar. So you can't jump through the window. You have to go through the front door. The front door is black. God help you. So all of these things are fire hazard, and the government, not just with the pimping boys as they call them, but with other things. If this government wants to make a holistic change when it comes to regulation, tackle other areas, not just the motorcyclists. Let the people see that this is a holistic approach, and you want to encourage more safety regulations in the country, and thereby you're going to tackle other areas that's been killing people, the fire situation, motorcyclists, other things that's been harming the society at large. So, but Terry, I just want to make a correction to you, even though I lost that train of thought, but it just came back. The airport you're talking about, it was commissioned. The ceremony it happened in November 2016 with Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and the work became, I think, in the middle of 2017, before election. I think 6 months before election, and the work was completed in 2019 under President Weah. So we know in Liberia, when he said he didn't build anything, the vast majority of that construction of the new terminal at Robert Airport were under President Weah's administration. The 14 military hospitals, the people from the Arab Emirates, they did that to honor him for his jersey number. The ministerial complex that you're talking about, the Chinese built that in collaboration with Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. So when you're talking about development, I don't remember the last president that single-handedly developed had any infrastructure development in that country purely based on the taxpayers' money of Liberia. Though we know how much money he got from America, what you call it, Metova, how the executive mansion, the Temple of Justice, Americans helped to fund to build those buildings. So every infrastructure development in our country, the most important ones are either donor funds or a significant portion comes from the international community. So when you try to say, Joey, I didn't do any kind of development in the country, I said to say Ellen did way more than we did. You said that.
She did well more than him.
No, she didn't. She didn't do more than we had. She didn't do well.
Anyway,
we have built, I think, over 4 hospitals in that country. He built poor housing. For the Liberian people people are still benefiting from it. Ellen did none of those things for the people of Liberia. She built.
I think my chair now, also.
1 second, please, because Elvis said something, and I wanted to make sure I heard it clearly. Did you say that there was a stats that backs that motorbikes were mostly used in the commission of crime? Did I hear that clearly?
Well, when I say status, because the police said it by George was steady now.
Yeah.
That report that the police said was used in the commission of crimes, and people have reported it. People reported that people will come on bikes, steal the things, and jump on the bikes. So I know you're a statistician. It's not in our database. But people was reporting it, and that was a trend. That was a trend.
In our database, the police call.
If
police call and say 3 black people slapping yesterday down Waterside, we can't then claim that slapping is related to black people. So again, that's not correlation. That's the point I'm making. You can pick 1 or 2 things and say that's a correlation.
It's based on majority.
But this is not proof.
If majority of people are using motorbike to commit crime,
it is not. There's no police that say majority. The police have never said
majority. A lot of reports coming out that's what it was. People would take people's phone, jump on a bike, and run away.
Yes.
Take people's phone, jump on somebody's bike, and run away.
Elvis,
What's happening a lot?
Elvis, I'm not denying that happened. But it has never been said a majority of it happens with motorbikes.
My turn.
Anyway.
But didn't you hear about passenger 57? You ever heard about passenger 57?
Yeah, we know that. We know about that. When people are getting kidnapping Texas and killing Texas, we knew that.
Motorcyclists, but But anyway, Mr. So I wanted to come with that.
No, it's not Italian. You gotta go around the cycle before you come out to India.
No problem. You know me, I'm patient. I can wait. I get a problem with that.
I'm seeing Boulevard too.
Let me still the last few here. Let me see who on the Connecticut Highway. Keto, are you here? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's hear you quickly before I go on the live view.
Yeah. So.
Are you talking to me, Afonso?
Right after Keto, I'll be coming to you. Right after Keto.
Okay. I concur with Brother to say, to be honest with you guys, I think sometimes, it's a good thing that the government trying to regulate, but if you look at our society today, the problem with the, large group of motorcyclists in the country is from our civil, as Brother George said, and these people need to eat. These people need to survive. Some of them pay their children's school fees. Some of them even pay their own school fees. They pay their house rents and all the other stuff from just riding motorbike. I think the government should come with much more a good program for them, training them, kind of a good program that will not take money out of their pocket, but equally not, endanger the lives of other people and themselves and the society. I think they should take a better role because, like the motorcycle, I listened to the president. He said, we gave Joe Barker an ultimatum to do one or two things. Either he gave a job or he allows to move to ride. I mean, you are referring to the police director gave us job or allows to run our motorbike. And we know the government is not in the position of employing the amount of people that ride motorbike in the street. So I think they can come up to a common ground and understanding the country is, we are in hard times. And just to start, you're putting people down for work and you're taking people off the street from riding motorbike and you're pushing people off the sidewalk from selling and all that kind of stuff, it creates even more problem for this challenging government at this time. Because you will put a lot of people out of, getting some form of income that government cannot provide or the private sector is not providing for them. You're going to put that burden on government. I don't know how government is going to even take that burden.
Okay.
For a lot of people in poverty again. So I think.
All right, let me hold you there. Okay, let's go back on the last that Dr. Toto, and then we come to Emma, George, and Terry.
Yeah. Just to push back on sister point. I think looking at the issue of the police, where kind of correlated to crime in Liberia. The source of the police is a Jesuit source. As it relates to crime in Liberia, that's the backing that I gave it. If I were to do a research today on crime as it relates to motorbike ride in Liberia, the police source will be one of my sources that I'm going to search and come up with a logical conclusion. So the police that come out and say that most of the crime in Liberia that happen way back correlate to motorcycling. Committing most of the crime. So that's a source that we can look up to and come up with a determination. Now, Gregory Krober did not say that they were kicking the police out of business. They were trying to find an alternative route for them to still continue on their business. They're not trying to infringe on their right or trying to infringe on their movement. They're just trying to create a safe pathway for the process to be regulated. I went to other African countries. I went to Cotonou. I saw the increase of motorcycling in that country. But we see how the system well coordinated. They wear uniform, they wear helmet, and they have special corridor for them. They all follow what I want to Cotonou. Even or Uganda that developed today. They have motorcycle there also too. But the system is regulated also there too. They wear uniform. They have certain part of the road. It's just like Liberia, we still lacking in development in our road in Liberia where we don't have safe pathway for motorcycling and things that's go or have a narrow road system in Liberia. So I believe they want to improve the system. That's why they're trying to regulate them to try to take a different route.
Yeah, I think a real national conversation needs to be held. People shouldn't just, take into consideration where they're coming from, and they gotta just bring them to reality. It's not something that can just be read, but there should be a regulator. It's horrible when you really get in the city center, you're driving, and how things look like. It is a serious disaster. You can't even evacuate people in that place because but I think there needs to be a system and not just to kind of like shove something down in the throat of people because they're going to take time to transition to different things. But that's it. There should be something must be done. Logical. Amos George.
Let me conclude.
When you don't let me put by the data yet, I did not say a source. I did not argue the source. I'm arguing the statistics.
When you feed your car.
No, you try to bend it. I didn't talk about sourcing. I talk about statistical correlation. And it's
okay. That man, you understand, man. You had a meeting with Jeff Flake.
So the issue of Crispin, there I don't take back on my own man Amara Kode and our old man Dillon, when it comes to their essential calling for the resignation of Minister Crispy, we know what happened. But my point is, the COT continue to happen in the Senate, in the legislature. Minister Crispy went to confirmation hearing. You are quizzing. You are new this off your team there. It's not just what I just came up. And you're passing or you're confirming. Then you're coming back again. You want to tell Liberian public that you see something that you want to put a hold on. You know that's the problem that I'm having with the whole Crispy sorting. If Ambassador Boyka want to terminate or fire Crispy, let him do a due diligence on his own.
So,
Akabi Afonso, Akabi, if Ambassador Boyka want to terminate or fire Crispy, let him do a good due diligence on his own, but not to seek the advice or Emerald Corner and also Tara Dillon on the issue here, because our Crispy was presented to them, and the question they went through confirmation hearing, and they fought not die on him, and they went to confirm.
Let's not put it in black and white in stone here. If you were an investigator and they say you are on a crime scene, you did a preliminary or you do whatever investigation, and afterwards something new happens, something new emerged. You as an investigator, can you take on that case? You say you say
yeah, you can do that. When you can do that.
So then what is the deal?
But then the question was investigation slapping? Was there a slapping investigation?
That's right, yeah. So we have to investigate the investigation. What happened first? When did the information came out? When did the new information came out?
So we slapping investigation.
Did I hear that Toto say investigators?
Yeah. The men and what they start to deal with it, just so hard. Okay. So Amos George.
Yeah. Look, when I made mention, I know this is all going to come to data.
Oh, you saw it coming?
Yeah, I saw it coming. The man was a mathematician, you're a statistician. But what I said was based on what the police said, that at the time, that was during the Christmas administration, telling them that most of the crime committed at that time, motorbike were being used. So the measure they put in place was 10 o'clock, we don't want to see no motorbike flying the street again. And according to them, the rate of armed robbery and other crime went down. So you can check the police department, Christmas, they said it. I'm not saying this case here. This case is about what? People respecting the rule of law. So those are two separate things. Because motorbike and motorists are not observing the rules of the road. Drivers, many driving, but don't know the rules. Motorcycles don't know the rules. So who is at detriment? Is at mercy of the people, are the ordinary people.
Traffic police don't know the rules.
Traffic police know the rules, but it's a matter of people obeying the rules.
The lawmaker themselves, who they?
Yeah, they drive opposite. The lawmaker drive opposite lane. They go and pass law.
That is a law, though. That is a law. That is legal in Liberia.
I know it. So
when you talk about legal, why begin legal to drive on the opposite?
Yes, they pass a law. Oh yes, it is legal.
Yeah, lawmaker have the right to the shoulders of the road.
Yeah, now they show the opposite lane.
Yeah.
Seriously, they pass it. That any government official can use the opposite lane. For instance, you're going down south from Payne Street and someone going north. The government official can use that side. That will be the left side of the road.
No, Brother George. If you talk about government official now, because government has so many employees, and this category of
senators, representatives.
The first branch of government.
The first branch of government. They pass that law. But what I was saying is this motorcycle, the motorcycle thing. I said it before in my open, I'm not against them. It's a livelihood of earning to live. I'm not against that. What I'm talking about is to follow the rules. Not because you want to survive, so you don't care about other people. No. And I said it should not be a right. It is a privilege. So if you cannot abide by that, the government can impose sanction on you. I mean, I'm a liberal, but
you are what?
my block got some of the conservative thing in me. Not because John Brown, I'm from the poor home. I don't know what poor
identity to
mean that we should abuse everything because I want to survive. No.
But what many people think say liberalism means that they don't want no rule of law.
He's an emerging liberal, liberal, conservative.
Yeah, no, Samson told look at it. Samson told that how you look at it. That anything you say is a highliner. You're not a liberal. You're conservative. So these are some of the things we're talking. If the motorbikes or motorcyclists abide by the rules, then of course we'll all be let people make their living because they are following the rules. And what I heard the police director saying the last time was, we've been engaging these people. But all these things are political motive. The police director said it. We're not going to take unilateral decision. We'll engage the community. These are the people that are involved. But yet, like people say they want to protest. You know, the idea that everything people can challenge government. Well, if you challenge government, it's not time that Joseph Boakai stand up to these people. That there should be rule and law and order. Why it is your right, but you should abide by the law.
Yeah, liberal, don't talk that down.
No, why? So you mean that you're there like everything to go hell? Why? No.
Okay.
Let me come to you. You said something about the marketeers.
Make everybody on every spot. They will at every time.
Pins said George we have built a market. He said he have built a market. But when you read the water was tapping the people to their knee, how can you say the people must go sell in the place that the water is holding them to their knees?
Oh God.
How? You build a market, get the people involved. Did they ask the people? Did they consult them? Select their views. What would be the suitable point that we can put this market so you all can go there? And what can we do to encourage everybody to be in that market? Was it done? No. What you people did was to put people in the market and take all the front view and give to the Lebanese guys to build stores. That's what you people did in Painesville. We're on the platform and talking about it. So how do you expect these ordinary people that you put champion the court to survive on this kind of idea? So we are saying to do this thing, proper education should be involved. Let the people who will be beneficiary of that thing be participants.
We are running out of time.
I close on it.
Let me, Terry, I've not spoken for a little while, and the issue of this by the motorcyclists. I listened to the president and everybody, and the politics in the whole, everything has been politicized, and I listened to his tone. We have the ability, we can bring the country to a halt, we can do this. I think the police chief was very gentle. I don't know the in-depth how the meeting took place in the conference room, but what he put out in public was kind of conciliatory that we listen to them, we engage into, we have a conversation. And that conversation can be a continuous one until they find a solution to address it. Terry, these people, they have a very huge demographic in terms of whether it's a transport union or how they're doing it. Not just only Mosorado, because they have the tendency, whatever happens in Monrovia, it also have the propensity to get outside of Monrovia, to spill out in other counties with this whole thing here. How can the government, this seems to be out of hand because people from the onset just didn't grab it, or the very politicians themselves, you saw that everybody was just holding back because they knew it was election time, so anybody could not go there and mess and do anything here. We discussed this issue. We can also put out recommendations, and hopefully somebody can listen to it. How can this be? How should GOL now go about to address this thing here? And when you're addressing it, remember, it's still not going to be Monrovia, it's going to be Ganta, it's going to be Maryland, it's going to be Lofa. But these people, they are the highest sort of commuter that get people from point A to point B. So obviously, whatever decision that people are taking, ordinary people who we are complaining that these people allegedly commit crime, people will sympathize with them because there are some people use the same bikes to go to work, to go to other places, to get to the place. So it's a kind of convoluted, it's a kind of hard one. How can we settle this thing?
You know, the broken clock can be right twice a day. When during his administration,
Somebody.
he was accused of even having a share in one of those companies that
Somebody
were
got to mute themselves.
And I noticed that he's picking.
Somebody get a system on.
Yeah, so like I said, right, I'm a bike rider. I'm a bike guy who have bikes under his control. I rode in Lofa County, in Vonjama City, to be specific. I used to ride, and I have bikes under my control riding from Vonjama to Foya. I used to go as far as Kolahun, Masambulahun, and all of that. When those boys load that thing, when those boys load the bike with oil, sometimes 10 barrels of oil, those boys will put it on the bike, and only a small little place there for them to ride, and they will drag that thing from down there all the way to Vahun. You understand? That is how these boys make money. You understand? You can't take it from them. That is what they do to survive. You know, that is where now the liberal comes in, you know, to say, you know what, this is a means by which, you know, the people survive, the economy and all of that. So, in my opinion, right, like what Madam Shirley did, you have two types of bikes now in the country. You got the Kenken, you got the motorbike. So, the Kenken drives used to drive through and go through Waterside and put people down in Waterside. The bikes would stop to the bridge, to the old and new bridge. That was how Gregory then regulated it in Madam Shirley's time after the election, her second term. All right, and it worked. It was working for a little bit. In fact, that was what made most of the motorcyclists to upgrade themselves by going to buy Kenken. Because motorcycles were not going to Monrovia, and there were passengers that wanted to go. And one of those, sometimes you stand on the side of the road. You want to go to Monrovia City, the cars and the taxi then bluffing you, a raining or something going on. Those bikes will just pull up on the corner and say, "My man, I can carry you. My man, I'll give you 150, I'll give you 200. Get on the bike." 2 person, they will carry you straight to Monrovia City. So the bike has become the fastest means of transportation to get a pedestrian from one location to his destination quicker, thereby minimizing his chances of being exploited by a taxi driver. You understand? Or his chances of him taking a longer period of time to sit in the traffic by a taxi driver squeeze up. The bike will get that man from over there quick to where he's going, quicker than you can ever expect. That is the reason why most Liberians like motorcycle, for many reasons. And that is how they make their money. So the best thing here is this. Gregory them, in my opinion, when you go for license, on the license, a guy motorcycle there, most of the motorcyclists do not have a license to ride motorbike. They don't have it. So what you need to do is that you give the opportunity to them to get license. And before they get license, let them go to the rank and file. You don't have computer, we understand like what they do in America, but the very, how you call them, those guys that regulate the union, the bikes have union. The union that talking plenty and say they're protesting, it is their responsibility now to make sure that each rider do the right thing, pass through the right procedure before they can get their license. Any rider who don't pass through the right procedure will not be able to get a license because each rider pay those union guys. Those union guys are responsible to make sure that a rider is not wearing slipper. A rider is making sure, they make sure that you're supposed to have your helmet on and you're riding properly, you have your V-mirrors. Most of the riders, they like to take out the V-mirror from there. So that is why they don't see. That is why they make accidents often. And you're not supposed to ride on certain part of the road. I heard somebody was talking about, follow the rule. What kind of rule in Maria? What kind of rule? Y'all get rule in Maria? Y'all get a stop sign? Y'all get lines on the road, the yellow line, the white line? Most of the roads don't have those things. So people, the people use their discretion to ride, which is not right at all. So there are many ways Gregor Coleman can regulate the thing. He can recall the motorcyclist by using the union and formulate a strategy wherein they will pass through certain rank and file and be issued a lesson. And if they violate, they either be fined or be put to jail. That is one aspect. You understand? To quickly address every stuff, all right? This or what they call
30 seconds.
This, yeah, 30 seconds. There your job. We are man. What you were talking about, all right? Ellen Johnson Sirleaf built that place and lay it out. President, we are our addressing Brigable said, President, we are the one who built the terminal. I said no, that place was built by Madam Sirleaf. And you try to argue, President, we are told that he renovated the mansion, the executive mansion was finished. That's why he said they recovered the use as a campaign strategy. But the last time I checked, from floor 1 to floor 8, nothing is completed. Everything is dilapidated. So all the your fake development you carry on all over the place to use it to run campaign was a makeshift structure. Even the marketplace that Pat George talked about, the reason why the people leave from the market is because before you build a market, you have to also consider the environment. I think labor is the best person to address the issue. You got to consider the environment. Most of those marketplaces, when it rains, the water set. So you were supposed to dig waters to create a channel for the water to pass. And you should have had parking lots and all those things in those places. So for cars to be parked one place and opportunity for the Liberian people to go in the market. Because let me tell you, Liberian people are very proud people. They don't like to walk in water and mud. So as a result, they like to be on the road to buy the food. So they will wait for the marketeer to come on the road to sell before they buy. Those are some of the things that your government did not take into consideration when they were doing construction. Then you boasting here that President, we are developed. What a development he did.
Okay, let's leave it there. Wow.
I know those motorcycle about they were going to tell the goat behind in the village.
Yeah, they can put goat behind them.
They were going to tell the goat in the village. In my village, they went to
we are very proud people.
That's true. Liberians are proud.
Hello, guys.
The man won't sit down to the entertainment place for the man who doing his business to come to him before he buy, instead of going down waterside to buy. That is Liberian.
Okay. All right, the other man. Okay, guys. Before we go, I think we can sacrifice two minutes each. 2 minutes exact. I think we have discussed a lot here. Besides your own talking closing point, let's take a little quick review of our own government. What you think is lacking and what you think we can push for the government to listen. You can use a 1 minute, your closing argument. Maybe there was some things that you want to talk about, we didn't say. And then we can use 1 minute infinite solutions to some of these problems. That is by something I see it to be is because people don't want to. People have not been following the system, and people do not want to follow the system. And maybe I don't know the way we push things or the way national government and the other side, the citizenry, how they also interfere with the law systems. All of these things here, we all do have some sort of shared responsibility in making sure we have a better society. We want our country to be like other country, but the sacrifices the other country or things that are happening, we don't want to do that. So it's a kind of like it's a little tight in here. How can this be, Dr. Toto? We're going to make you the chairman on this other committee here. You know, I think you're both chairman for, is that what? Ali and Eminem, is that you, our Eula stuff?
No, it's Aliyah. The Association of Liberian Lucha in America.
They made it forever chairman of both of Eula.
When you become representative or senator for long, then it was something, yes. Yeah, so Dr. Toto, your 2 minutes, your own argument and this whole thing, what should national government do with respect to this motorcyclist?
From where I sit, I think it's too early to cast a blame on the cast a dark cloud on the government. Even I'm not optimistic about 90 days. Even the 90 days is end up procedure that people said, to kind of grade people in office or in government. But for me, I go beyond that. I look about 6 months before I come in with my own analysis to to create a government where the government will be. So for that, I think things are going on. Things are going on gradually. There must be a little bit of so little bit of honor or development are going on, but I don't think it's sufficient, to overcome what is going that be unfolded or in the 90 days. When it comes to the issue of the motorcycle, I think Gregory Clement said it right. They're not trying to get out of business. They just want to try to regulate the process, to provide safety for them also too, because we are seeing the increase in accident. Most of them they are being hurt. They are being, if you go, like I was speaking to one of the doctors with GFT, they were talking about the trauma healing center of the GFT, where you see a lot of motorcyclists got hurt until they are in the hospital, so they try to create a pathway for them. So these are ongoing issues, and then we come with the protests. As I said, I don't really see, even though they have the fundamental right for them to protest, it's good. But when you come up with protests, come up with a substantial allegation to protest, but don't come up with blanket statement and allegation to protest because you want to protest or because you are new for having protests and things there. I think for me, I think they are being a little bit influenced by some outside forces, to come up to be protesting. They had no merit. They had no merit to show in their protest.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, who wants to go next?
I could go.
Okay, let's hear you quickly. Strictly
All
to
right, thank you. Look, I think the president taking this initiative is a good thing. The one thing I said I wish he would have done is to clearly state why he's doing it, the benefits of it, and then hopefully he can incorporate it into his developmental agenda. Because I'm sure this president intends to build some new roads. So maybe he can reflect it through adding a specific rules for motorcyclists. When these people are giving you money to build roads, these donors are coming and say, "Oh, we got a project, you want to build this and so corridor." So yeah, that's a good idea. But one of the things I want you to do, please, build a road as you normally would build it, and then add, a two-lane, a smaller two-lane for bikes to go, to and from. Then people will say, okay, this is something that just about got brought into play, and then your policies will be, any kind of road development will have, in mind the bike lanes, the motorcycle lanes. I hope you will do that. And just lastly to Terry, my point here is not that George, our former president, we didn't make mistakes. Like I said, there's no new Liberians coming from Mars or Pluto or even Jupiter to come into our country. The same way Liberian men been doing things since the 19 rule is the same way they did it on the way, the same way they're doing it now on a President Boycott. You're right. If you're an architect, if you're somebody who's doing the planning for those things, you think about all of those things beforehand, drainage and all of those things during the rainy season, and you do it. And they didn't do it, but the idea was noble in terms of trying to put these people on a shelter. And then another pushback to Pat George, when you said that the Lebanese people have the front view, where in America you're going from a Walmart, you're going from a Walmart, you go put table down and start selling plum. Those people pay hefty amount of money for those properties. They pay a lot of money for the quote unquote front view. And most of the people who have the Willow Market, most of them are not paying rent for that little spot. They just sit there and they're obstructing the traffic, the pedestrian traffic in front of those businesses. So nobody can go in front of a prime business center and go, start a farmer market there because the people getting the best view, they get the best ways for customers to come shop. That's not how it works. People are paying thousands of dollars a year to get those quote unquote front view. So if the president took it upon himself to put shelter from the house sun, from the rain, and maybe they didn't think about the drainage system, that's on them. But the idea itself was noble, and we should applaud him for that. Thank you again for having me.
Okay, wow. So you guys decided to be like a push on Amos George here this evening, right?
No. I agree with him. I just push him back because
it's not a push, but he's not stating the facts. The market. I didn't say water. I didn't say Broad Street. I was very specific. I said
you want to start your 2 minutes now?
2 minutes. I don't know if you start on them. Because I got an announcement to make, and I don't know what I should.
From where?
It's a personal announcement. So,
You running for senator in Palm County?
Let me do
yeah.
my 3 minutes.
Yes, we could do
Yeah,
3 minutes.
George can go forward the Senate seat.
Yeah. No, George Toto running for the representatives. I hear
Oh, the
him.
mayor of the downgrade George to representative.
No, that hear Mama Bree.
Before you go,
Again, Marvin Cole.
the mayor bring you to commissioner level. You can't have bring you down to commissioner.
Okay.
But on a serious note, look, Elvis, I applaud you. You just took a lot of the talks out of my mouth about the way forward. You create these bike only lanes. Look, in Minneapolis, and I'm saying this because both Elvis and Terry lives here. They're a part of Minneapolis, especially the north side, where they put these barriers. It's just like poles, concrete poles, and you get these bike only lanes. That is a very easy solution to a lot of the issues right now. But for me, though, I think the question I keep asking, and the police, Gregory Coleman has not answered that in all of his speeches, at least not according to not what I've seen, and the president has not brought the country along, is what is the reason? What is the reason? People keep going back to Madame Salif Day. The issue, in fact, the plaster that Madame Salif tried to put over a soul was really bad. They tried to criminalize the poorer people. That somehow the people are riding the bike are the one that are facilitating crime. And so all of the crime can happen during the day. But 10 o'clock, when that happen no more, they did it like the way the Georgia government did the Ebola thing. Y'all go walk about a whole day, but after 6 o'clock, Ebola can come outside. So everybody go inside by that time, right? It was unfair. It was classic classism at this epic, right? And so for me, if they're concerned about the congestion of the central city, because it almost seems like that's the only place they're trying to focus this regulation. They're not concerned about the pins there or the Douala or the other side. They're concerned about the congestion of the central city where the elites go a lot of the time. For me, I see that's a problem. So are they looking at the congestion of the whole country or the congestion of part of Monrovia? Are they looking at it from a viewpoint of the safety of the drive of the motorbike riders, the pedestrians and the passengers? Because that will have to come with a different solution. That's how they're looking at it. Or are they looking at it again back? Because for me, I'm a liberal. Every time people state crime statistics, I'm really concerned about who they link to those crime stats. It happens here in America a lot. When people somehow wrongfully assign crimes, violent crimes, to Black people. And so I'm worried about, if you're talking about crime prevention, have you laid out a correlation for us to see that there is a line between violent crime or crimes and the use of motorbikes? If they lay that out, then they have to attack that from that view. But they haven't done that. Everybody's just talking about all around the place. And look, on the issue of motorbike riders being used for political gains, I will say this. Any one of you that were in this country 2011, you remember Occupy Wall Street? Occupy Wall Street, September of 2011. It lasted for 59 days where liberal activists were taking over banks and the investment center in New York and other places, demanding that government change policies, that bankers and banking institutions change policies. They were being used by the liberals and the Democrats. And so the motorbike union is no different. Every small will have to use those people to their end. That is just normal.
That's true.
That is just normal. So I don't know
That
why.
one I agree with you on it.
Right? I see my man, Representative DJ Blue. The last time him and I got into some back and forth because he said there are about 500,000 motorbike riders in Monrovia. And I said, where you get that from? Then the man start coming. The man say about 500, so he can't be wrong. I said that's true. There's about 2 billion people living in Wezi. No, but I want to say so we went back and forth. But here was the point I was trying to get at. He built a motorbike place. According to him, I think a place for the bike riders to be parking their bikes. And everybody was lauding him. I said, dude, that is a great thing. But you as a lawmaker, what laws have you enacted or have you brought forth to ensure that these people don't just ride bikes for their livelihood, that they are also protected, that you don't just build a one shanty place in your district, but that they have that everywhere else around the country. Crickets, today he hasn't answered back. Saying people try to come out with a 500K. It goes to the larger issue of the government. What is the government going to do if we don't want these people riding bikes? I know personally, LU graduates that are driving motorbikes. These people graduated from the University of Liberia. They don't have jobs. I know a few of them. And so that's the reason I'm saying it this way, that the government of Liberia, if we realize that this is to prevent crime, then let's look at it from that point based on data, and let's go. If we look at it for safety, then like Pa George said, let's look at how are they using helmets and all the other things and the rules of driving, and how do we issue licenses to them. If we look at the congestion of the city, then let's look at having third lane and having bike lanes only. But are we going to do it to Monrovia? What happened to Pinsday? What happened to Dwight?
Yeah.
Okay. I will take the three component. Crime.
Why are you taking the camera now?
I'll take crime, safety.
Huh?
You wanted to go anyway. Yeah.
You got something? You want to add something to add? By George?
No. I thought I wanted. I thought he said you were waiting to be
ahead,
maybe
Terry,
last or so.
No,
you know, like your co-host here now, so he got to be what
Terry, go ahead.
Yeah. So the only thing I would want to agree with Pa George on is the 10 o'clock regulation that I didn't make mention of. It was very helpful, to be honest with you, because the security sector realized that the criminal rate was very high. Because to be honest with you, there were backers that were doing great harm among us, all right? And they used to do that during 11 o'clock, during the midnight hour. So that is why, I don't know if it was Gregory or that lady that was there, she cracked down and regulated bike riders to arrive 10 o'clock, shut down. Even Ken, 10 o'clock, you shut down and you resume 6 o'clock in the morning. And when they initiate that law, the criminal rate dropped. So it is not a bad thing for bikers to resume by 10 o'clock p.m. I 100% agree with that law because I saw it work. But, you know, so it is true that everybody involved with crime, even passenger 57, those cars used to carry crimes and things, but bikers are very fast and they're very swift. All right? There are a lot of people, bikes that got missing from those guys. Those guys know how to escape. They know how to carry on crimes very swiftly and very fast because they are fast. So I think Gregory Coleman know that. So that is why they put in that regulation. So any bike that was caught outside by 10 o'clock, I mean, after 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, that bike will be impounded and arrested. When they did that, it cut down crime. Highly, very, very swift. So I think that would be a very good strategy. But to be honest with you, and on the issue of grace speed and all of that, to be honest with you guys, I don't want to buy and blow. If grace speed is involved with criminal activities, hey, my man, grace speed, you got to resign. This is not a government here that we can't play. We don't want to be like Joe. We are people. What we say, oh, you know what? The men were not wrong. The man did the right thing. The man do that. What he used to do with what he need, Maggie, Nathaniel Maggie, and Samuel Twe. I'm not going to be one of those. If Grace P did something, and the senators then, I disagree with Dr. Toto on this, that if the senators approve you and they didn't know that you did that thing and it came up, they got a right to come out and say, my man, you know what? Even though we approve you, we didn't know. But you know what? You need to resign. From what we're seeing here, we think that you need to resign. I don't think that is wrong. I don't think it's wrong at all. If Grace P did this, I will recommend that President Bokar fire him if he don't resign and let him go for investigation. That would be one of the precedents that he will set in his government that will be that will reflect on him to be the man that he claimed he was and the man who ran on the mantra of accountability and integrity. Thank you very much.
We gotta leave it at. Pa George, you say
let me say.
Let's put it in before we go.
Yeah.
No, I said put your point in before we leave.
Yeah. Let me say this. All what this is, I do agree with this, but this too much labor thing, I don't go down a route. We know that people must earn their livelihood. No argument about that. But also people must be able to abide by the laws. There should be no exception to any group of people who think that because they are poor, so they can do anything. No, I don't buy into that. The state of Monrovia is not for illegal ones, sister, you know that. Everybody got to go to Monrovia to buy.
You want to talk about the history of Monrovia? They're not for elite.
No, sister, don't go there.
That's a whole different discussion.
You got Waterside right there. Waterside right there. That for elite. Waterside.
Oh, but then look at Highway Partition. The places that are dirty, they play the who are living Mamba Point. Who are living?
Sister, that's a segment. Sister, that's just a segment. Sister, that's a segment. Basa community is that elite community? Basa community. Slavery is that elite community?
No, but you saw the message you me. Those are shanty towns. Your name is shanty towns.
No, that bypass, capital bypass.
Again, your name is.
Well, the elite don't go down no area, George. They go to Wall Street.
I see.
Your name is shanty towns. That doesn't help the case.
Capital bypass, no
your name is shanty towns.
No, capital bypass, shanty towns.
Doesn't help your case.
Reverend Levi Martin, don't go to Westwood and get away from there.
Monrovia was envisioned. Monrovia was envisioned for the rich and the privileged. The reason you get a small university up there for the elite. That's why you get a small campus up there for.
So, but here's the thing here. Look, gentlemen. I want to say thank you to all of you people for meeting you people on this platform. But my life, I take a different turn. And I will be coming, but I'll be off and on. But it was good meeting you people. And I hope
let's do it this way, Pat Josh.
We will continue to do this. But I have been diagnosed with cancer. So I cannot give you any details yet. But it's one of those things. So I thought I cannot hold it to myself. And I said, I'm going to go public and tell my brothers and colleagues. So sometimes I may not be regular on the program again because I'm getting prepared for treatment. So I know the first thing when you say that people want to know the stage, I will not be able to tell you what stage it is because I still have to do some other thing to determine. I started some treatment, but I have to wait for the result. I have to do some other exam to start full treatment. So this is what I have to tell you people and our listeners. So because I didn't want to be just staying away like a backslide and this and that. And I've always said in my life, it's an open book. If you're sick, tell the people that who you consider as a family and friends. But I'm sure I will be there. So this is what I tell you people that where I find myself. But there's hope. Thank to all of you. I will appear sometime in the program, but I have to take this time to do some certain things. So I will be away maybe some weeks. A day you will see me, and sometimes you may not see me. But I decided to go public. And let me say that because from literature that I have gotten, if you are over the age of 40, I beg you, ask your primary care doctor to do a test. These tests are uncomfortable, but it's not more important than your life. because it used to be they say when you're over 50, but they are saying in black men, the cost of death of black men over the age of 40 by cancer, it has gone up and they don't know the cost. So now they are suggesting they have CDC, everything I passed. If you really literate, they will tell you now, after 40, you should start checking your prostate. So I just want to put it out there.
Joshua, where
You see
you?
me?
Well,
You're not think that if you see me, you're not think that I'm sick. But it is real.
Josh,
Yeah.
you know, I was saying, I'm going to taka ajoli klama.
Yeah. But
I don't know what to say.
no,
I will, so I will
but I
wait for
decided to come public.
I will wait for a different day to talk
Yes,
on it.
but I decided to come public.
I can't think beyond somebody else. No.
Hey, you just gotta fight it by Joshua. Everything you got, yeah. I'm sure your family will be by your side. You'll have the support.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And keep doing our prayers.
So,
We'll be in prayer with you, Pa Josh.
we are in
God
prayer
will
with
give
you.
you victory.
We are family.
Yeah.
I will call you and we'll talk.
Yeah. So, but I just want to tell people, Sissy, watch your body. Watch your body. Be very sensitive to your body. Because last November, I started having some funny feeling. So I went to my primary care doctor. And I told her, I said, I'm not feeling well. She said, okay, let's run some tests. We ran the first test. My PSA level was at 7. Then she told me, this is not known. So I will refer you to the urologist because I don't know why your PSA levels continue to go up. So I went to the urologist. They said, well, we'll do some physical exam, but to make sure we don't know, so you got to do a biopsy. The biopsy will give an insight of what happened because we'll go in there and take some tissues. So when I did the biopsies, March 22nd, they said, we'll get back to you. The result being 2 weeks. And then I received a call. They said, oh, you got to come to the office. There I knew something was not right because normally when you go to a doctor, if they just call you to the test, everything was okay. But once they come to the office, want to discuss something with you, I knew, so I said, oh, this is not good news. So I went to the office and they said, hey, these are the results from the lab. Yeah, we've seen some cancer cells, but we cannot treat it right now. You have to do the PET scan or MRI so we can get a clear picture. So they told me, well, these are the options. You have to do the MRI. You have to do a radiologist or we do a surgery. But we put it on hold. Let us get it resolved first. So now that's what we're waiting for. So this is what I'm saying. Please, when you're over 40, when you go to your primary care doctor, tell them, check my PSA. It's urine and blood. Simple. They will tell you. Once they tell you that PSA level is going up more than 4, 5, 6, then they will order something for you to do another test. So the way black people, Liberian, I know many men don't like to go to the doctor. Liberian men, I know us. But I'm urging everybody, you over 40, it's free. Go to a primary care doctor, just ask them if you do annual checkup one time, just go there and say, hey, I'm here for my annual checkup. Check my PSA level for me. simple test. Urine, blood, they will take it and just see. So that's it.
Okay.
I'll call you. I'll call you in the back.
Yeah.
This is shocking.
Yeah,
But if there's anybody that can beat a team that you know, the grandma.
No.
Yeah, what I'm gonna say, because I kind of jump in. What sort of announcement is that and stuff like that? We don't go there. But what I can say public here though, Per George, we are proud of you. This is how you triumph over be it evil, sickness, or challenge. Because when you have this sort of a discussion that is unusual, other people will say what he wants to prove, what she wants to prove, what it is saying. But that's where you kind of can get a counsel. That's where you can get a kind of support that you don't even expect. That's how supernatural, natural, or unbelievable intervention takes place.
Right.
Because you say, you know what? I empty myself, but this is a spiritual man on the platform here. Here I am. Nothing is impossible. There are other people who had it, they were diagnosed, whatever stage, whatever, but they were bold and they were able to get their way out. The most dangerous thing about the whole thing is to know and pretend that it's not there. You conceive it, and when it overflows, it spills. It's like putting water in a cup to drink. You just put in the water there, you're not looking at it. But from what I see, you are a strong man. And we will be in prayer.
Yeah, it take a brave man to say that.
Yeah, it will be in prayer.
Yes, it may.
And what you did quickly before you come in here is you get it out of your chest. You are not allowing this situation or whatever it is to define you, or to determine your direction, your fate. When you get something out, you feel good. You go to bed, sleep, you think number, because there are some people when they have something, they hide it, and then you grieve within you. You start grieving. That's the most worst one. But I think we'll be in prayer with you. You will be fine. Just how you made this announcement, trust me, you're going to come back here again and say, oh, I don't know, but this is what the Lord has done for me. Other people have had those sort of story.
Yeah, I tell people because what some are engaging. If you have something and hide it, and people yell on the side, somebody can use it against you tomorrow. So my life, I say, is an open book now because I go after other people. I talk about other people. So if I have something, what a signal, whatever, if I don't come forward to tell the people more, because when the news hit me, I call my wife and my children. I said, this is it. But I said, you know what happened? I will be this thing. The next thing that came to mind, okay, what do I do with these people every day I wait? Should I hold it? Okay, suppose I hold it. Maybe something happened on the other end. People say, oh, but what kind of man did they know? Yeah, even he was going through this, he didn't even tell us. Then how can we say, well, we together? So I said, you know what happened? I will tell my people and the whole world. Tomorrow, whoever you want to talk in, because I know how to step on people's toes, you can use it, but hey, I really don't care again. The people who are old, you people the one that are old explanation and have told you people. Not for any publicity, but I wanted to make it clear to you people that this is what I have. So tomorrow when someone say, oh, you knew you had it? Yeah, he told us. Because I don't want nobody to say, oh, no, we never knew all that time. No, I don't want it like that.
Yeah, you've inspired me, Pat George, and I think the rate for cancer, I think it's like one one in three people. I think something as high as that, which is crazy in terms of
Black people.
yeah.
They don't know the reason.
So even myself, I'm in my 30s, but it's inspired me to go do that PSA thing that you're talking
You know, they
because
say normally say once you over 40, then you
sure,
have to start doing it.
There is a very high rate of prostate cancer among Liberian men.
yeah,
There's a study going on at Rochester about
the
that.
Mayo Clinic.
There's a very they're trying to figure out what the correlation, what is
It might be our diet.
causation. It is really tough. It is that thing, and then among the women, the fibroids. So there are two things they're studying. Liberian women usually have fibroids. A lot of them. I'm not saying usually, but a lot of Liberian women have fibroids.
Yeah.
And a lot of Liberian older men get this cancer, and there's a study going on. And the people that are watching, and that's why I say it's heavy. But Joe, we're talking in the back. People that are watching, I hope you can take some inspiration from you and understand that this thing can strike close to home, and we don't know where it is. Doctors people say they don't know what it is. They don't know why Liberian men suffer from prostate and why Liberian women suffer from fibroid. They don't know. So I don't know, man. But George, we're talking in the back. I can't. This is heavy. This is too heavy. I gotta sit.
And the reason,
not a small deal, man.
I mean, we are a family here. We've been together for quite a while, and saying that if one of us cannot say something of a word of motivation, and then that would just be like, wait, now what kind of people are I think I just said not to it. So we will put on our smiling face. It doesn't mean we are happy, but it's a clear indication that our hands, regardless of our distances, our hands will with you to support you in this. And it is good that you tell us, because you can assume that people know something when you don't tell them. This is where the problem is. You see somebody laughing, it doesn't mean everything is okay. But sometimes you gotta say, hey, is everything okay? Or the brave one comes out and explain it. Now we know. I think it was just the day before yesterday, and somebody was just writing it. People keep track of what we do too. Somebody was saying, oh, what was it?
Yeah, I remember somebody said, "Pa George, go on overtime."
Yeah, okay, you're right. I watch what people say.
I think Unbreakable or somebody.
Yeah,
Unbreakable said it, yeah.
Somebody.
So nobody miss me on the platform all the time. We're going up. George,
no, that breakable miss you.
No, breakable. I miss
I miss you. I miss you because I don't get nobody to really argue with you.
Push back. He said he missed it tomorrow. Let's say
he had 30 liar. I want for them to miss me.
Yeah, you are today. I mean, I said you
every day he come on me. So he doesn't miss me.
I post my daughter's birthday picture and make you on the talk about Joseph Barker.
When you say I don't put on green slap or twice,
that ball love President Weir. I doubt that you already seen President Weir.
Or you get
Tobasi, like two people.
Oh, yeah. Tobasi.
Tobasi killing you in the comment section.
I don't know whether he can sleep. Tweets 24/7. Christopher coming to you. Tobasi, that's the research meant for Prince Sherry. So I mean that was the only reason, but I can tell you, for George, we will be in constant contact. If phone calls were not regular, we'll be in constant contact. All of us, to even our viewers, our listeners, as we go to bed, we should pray. Nothing is impossible. Right. Sometimes nothing is impossible. I can remember one of my little brother. Yeah, how many years ago? Sometimes and that's why sometimes you just gotta be strong and put out this warfare, because sometimes the doctor, when they say something, you just want the ground to open for you to go inside. It happened to one of our little brother here. They say, well, just say, next week we're moving here and there. Well, he's here. He's married. He's doing everything. And out of the sudden, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. So the woman will serve as a real woman when the actual time comes, but your position, your action tonight is a clear indication that you are a strong fighter,
Right.
and that nothing can put
Your
you
faith.
down.
Our
Yeah.
faith.
And that's it. You finish telling the old man who made us say this is what the people say. I don't believe it, but you can hear me.
Yeah, he has the
The
final
good
say.
thing that you hear in a society where something can be done, at least unlike like you back there where you can't even get anything, but we'll keep you impressed, folks and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming, and to all our viewers, our listeners.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, but George. I will give you a phone call somewhere to wrap up it, and hopefully don't go to bed soon.
Terry, let's go to that Boston rally. I got one going on right now.
All right, gentlemen, good luck.
They said the heat is too much. They said the heat too much.
See what the heat. I won't be in your heat. I'll let go, baby.
Okay, bye. Okay, folks. Today is Friday. What a Friday here this evening. And that's something we anticipated hearing or so. But that's the situation that's alive. For all of us, you, our followers, and even if this is the first time to chip in, we want to say it, join us. Our prayers and thoughts are out to Pa George. He has been with us here for quite a long time. And those are really, really a defining moment. But his courage, his conviction to share this with us in itself shows his authenticity as a person, as a human being. People who hang out with people of the same group, that includes you, besides people being here to interface. And so let us keep him in prayer as he go through whatever treatment potential that will be administered. Until then, folks, I'm Alfonso Z and Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. Have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.
President Thomas Yaya. Moesia, Amen. Adama Keita.